we're going to be talking about hand seals or mudras. Hand seals are very important in energy work and shamanic work. There's a whole very in-depth science to this, and it's very powerful. And for the most part, these hand seals are kept secret, and that's because they are so powerful. But today I'm just going to give you a basic overview of hand seals, and I'm going to give you hand seals for each one of the 5 elements. Now, some basic overview is that each one of the fingers of the hands corresponds to a different element, also corresponds to different organs within the body, and each finger of the hand also corresponds to different areas of the brain. So by putting different combinations of fingers together, you stimulate different areas of the brain, different elements within the body, and they're also very powerful in terms of summoning elements or working with deities. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 elements and hand seals that you can use to absorb and attract the 5 elements. Okay, so very briefly, let's go over it. Now, before I get into the 5 elements, if any of you have worked in any other traditions as I have, you will find that there is some discrepancy among different traditions as to what element corresponds with what finger. Well, I've looked at some of them, and I've come to the conclusion through my experience and through my research that you can basically put the 5 elements in the categories I'm going to give you now. And those categories are this. The index finger is atham or ether. The Taoists will call it the wood element. The middle finger is the wind or the air or the metal element. The ring finger is the fire. The little finger is water. And the thumb is earth. Now, I have to point out something here. In some of these different traditions, you will find that they interchange between the ring finger and the thumb. You know, they'll call this one earth and this one fire, or they'll call this one fire and this one earth. And the reason for that is this, is that working with the 5 elements, there are actually 2 kinds of fire. There is celestial fire and there is terrestrial fire. You know, the fire of the sun as opposed to the fire of molten lava underneath the earth. So the thumb is both earth and fire, just like molten lava is both earth and fire. And the ring finger is both fire and earth, but this is a celestial fire. So that's why we put, by the way, why we put our wedding rings on our ring finger, is because this connects to the celestial fire, which is the sun. And as you know, if you've been following my teachings, the sun is a direct connection to the soul. That's why the rune for the sun, the S rune, is called Solwo, which is the ancient, the Old English pronunciation of the word soul is Solwo. So the sun and the soul are the same thing. So this connects to the heart center. That's why we put this on here. Connect to our heart center. Okay? So those are the 5 elements and the 5 fingers. So I'm going to show you some very simple but very powerful hand seals for the 5 elements. The first one is for atham. You simply face east. You take the index finger and the thumb, touch them together. See, I'm making a triangle there. The rest of these fingers are just loosely curled underneath. And you hold this right here in front of the navel. Now, I'm not collapsed here. I have my hands out as though I've got tennis balls underneath my arms. And you just simply face east and inhale and hold that. That will bring atham energy into the body. It will also stimulate the brain in various ways. And chant Thunor. Thunor is the master of atham. So you can inhale very deeply and chant Thunor. You can also chant the Thurisaz rune. If you stand like this, if you can see looking at me, I'm actually creating a thirst rune with my body. So by facing east, you can also chant Thurisaz, and that will protect you and it will drive away any negativity, anybody coming at you. This will help drive any of that negativity away using the Thurisaz rune. Hand seal for air. Now air is the middle finger, so we touch the middle finger together. We bring these other fingers loosely. They can touch here at the second knuckle here, and we touch the thumb together just like this. And we do the same thing. We simply hold it here at the navel center, have space underneath the arms, breathe long and deep, or while facing west, you can chant Freya, Freya, Freya. Okay? This will bring the power of air and cleansing. And by the way, this is a great hand seal for connecting to the Vanir and for gaining the powers of meditation. The Vanir are the masters of meditation. Okay? So that's the second element of wind or air. The third element is the element of fire, specifically the celestial fire. So we do the same thing. We touch the ring fingers together, we touch the thumb together, hold these other fingers loosely underneath. They can touch like this. And we simply hold this here at the navel, and we face south. And while we face south, you can just simply inhale and breathe very deeply, bringing in the celestial energy in through the navel center, letting it fill the body with the power of the sun. You may also feel a connection to the heart center. You can chant Soul, Soul. You can also chant Sunna, Sunna. You can also chant Balder, Balder. Each one of these chants will bring in the power of celestial energy and strengthen your soul center, your heart center. Okay? And we move on to the fourth, which is water. And same thing, you just hold these fingers together. They can touch here very lightly. Put the thumbs together, touch the pinkies, holding it at the navel center, facing north. And for this one, when you breathe in long and deep, you can imagine energy going in and strengthening the kidneys. Kidneys are very important when it comes to energy work. So by holding this mudra and breathing long and deep, you're actually strengthening the kidneys, strengthening the body to have the ability to create and hold energy. So got the thumb here, pinkies here, and facing north, you can chant Nerthus, Nerthus, Nerthus. Be careful though, it's very powerful. Nerthus is a very powerful deity. But this will bring in a lot of magical power. It will also bring in the ability to feel supported by the universe, nurtured by the universe. Now the last one is the terrestrial fire, or the earthly fire. So the thumbs correspond with both the earth element and with the terrestrial fire element. This is the element of the self, of the ego. This is why, you see people giving thumbs up. When I was a kid, they had, Fonzie would do hey and thumbs up. Well, that's because Fonzie had a very strong image of self, you might say. He was a very confident person, so he was always putting his ego out there. These things don't happen for nothing. That's the reason why we do them. So, for this one, you're simply going to hold these fingers in a fist. You're not going to touch any of the fingers together except for the thumbs. And you hold this similar fashion right in front of the navel center. And this one is the earth, so it doesn't matter which direction you're facing. I'm going to give you a chant for this because Odin, or Woden, is the deity who is able to travel to all of the 9 realms. He is the master of all of the 5 elements. He is the master of the self. So, by holding this, we can chant Woden, Woden, Woden. By doing that, you will be merging your sense of self, your ego, with the power of shamanic inspiration. Wod is shamanic awareness, shamanic inspiration. Woden is the master of shamanic inspiration. And by being shamans, we want to merge our identity with Woden. So by putting this together, we chant Woden, Woden, Woden. Okay, so those are the 5 elements, and those are the 5 hand seals for the 5 elements. Now I'm going to teach you one last thing which you already know. Now this is another earth posture, and it's just simply the Hul breath posture. Hold the hands to the side with the palms facing. And so if you want the masculine power of the terrestrial earth and fire, you chant Woden with this. If you want the cooling, the descending, the feminine power of earth, then you hold your hands over here and you chant the Hul breath. Okay? So, there you go. Those are all the 5 elements and hand seals that correspond with them. I will be teaching deeper, more powerful hand seals for the associate apprentices on video. So if you're interested and you want to go deeper beyond some of these free teachings that we have, contact me via the website and let me know that you would like to be put on the list for when I'm done with the manual for the associate apprentices. Okay? Thanks. See you next time.